Good morning, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Top 10 Songs. Today we're going to tackle my favorite 10 songs and some honorable mentions from the wonderful, kick-ass, classic hard rock band Bad Company. Of course, basically a supergroup, all right, formed out of the ashes of Free, and you've got, Mick Ralphs coming over from Mott the Hoople. You've got Simon Kirke and Paul Rodgers coming over from Free, and Boz Burrell coming over from King Crimson, right? Released a bunch of classic albums in the 70s into the early 80s, right, on the Swan Song Records label, of course, home of Led Zeppelin, Peter Grant, all right. Band kind of fizzled out in the early 80s. Paul Rodgers flew the coop, went on to the Firm. Band kind of resurfaced a few years later with a new singer. Okay, then another new singer, and kind of recorded into the 90s before eventually Paul Rodgers coming back full circle, rejoining the band. Okay, although they have yet to release any new studio albums since Paul has come back into the band, but they've been touring regularly, got a live album or two out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from my number 10, work my way back to number 1, and then I'm going to go and list off a couple of honorable mentions. All right, so let's get started here. So coming in at number 10 from the Straight Shooter album, which is probably my favorite Bad Company album, I'm going to go with Wildfire Woman. Love the chorus. It's a good driving rocker. Okay, it's just so memorable. It's got great hooks in the song. Always been a big fan. The chorus is just absolutely killer. Absolutely killer. So that's my number 10. Coming in at number 9, we're going to go back to the debut, the wonderful debut, and I'm going to go with Rocksteady. Bad Company were always very good at those kind of like mid-tempo, meaty, bluesy rockers, and I think Rocksteady is one of their best. Okay, and I love Mick Ralphs' riffs on a lot of those old Bad Company albums. Just real kind of like, kind of fuzzy, very meaty. He's not a flashy player, all right. His solos were tasty, but, not lengthy, perfect for the song. Just a really great player for that band, I thought. Coming in at number 8 from the Run with the Pack album, I'm going to go with Live for the Music. That's just kind of like a barnstorming heavy rock tune. Great riffs in that song. Paul Rodgers' vocals, on all these tunes are just like absolutely amazing. He's just quite simply one of the greatest rock or blues rock singers of all time. Just an amazing, amazing performer. Coming in at number 7, let's go to Rough Diamonds. All right. How about Painted Face? A very underrated song. Very underrated song. Easily my favorite song from that album. And again, just really memorable. Good hook, good riffs. It's what this band was all about, right? So Painted Face, number 7. Coming in at number 6, we're going to go back to the Run with the Pack album. How about the title track? Again, another kind of emotional, moody, bluesy rocker. I love the kind of slow build-up in that song, and Paul's vocals are just absolutely spot on. Legendary. How about the next song? I'm going to go with another title track. All right, coming in at number 5, Burnin Sky, off of the album of the same name. The sky is burning. Again, and I love that song in particular has this kind of like slow simmering boil, right? You got Mick Ralphs and those kind of like little faraway sizzling riffs. You got Simon Kirke's drumming, Boz Burrell with the steady beat, and Paul's vocals just keep building and building. Killer tune, which comes in at number 5 for me. Number 4, we're going to go back to the Straight Shooter album, okay? Good Lovin' Gone Bad. Yeah, 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 yeah. Another fantastic vocal performance from Paul Rodgers. Another memorable barnstorming hard rock tune. They got a lot of them. Coming in at number 3, another title track, a legendary title track from the first album, Bad Company. For some people, oh my God, it might be a little overplayed, but it's still a killer tune. Again, just really kind of moody. Got a little bit of piano and then the dun, 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 those real beefy riffs, and a legendary vocal from from the man Rogers on that. I just love that tune. All right, my top two. Some of you may be thinking, God, there's all these like real big hits that Pete has not mentioned yet. Well, I'm going to continue to not mention them. My number two, my second favorite song of all time from Bad Company. Again, back to the Straight Shooter album. Deal with the Preacher. Kick-ass, stomping, hard rock tune. It's catchy. It's heavy. That second album is just really, really good. I absolutely love Straight Shooter. Deal with the Preacher, man. Killer heavy rock. You know, there's so many really good heavy rock tunes that Bad Company did. They weren't all about those kind of hooky, poppy, bluesy rock tunes, right? They can really lay down some crunch when they wanted to. So that's my number two track. My number one track, another heavy number from them. We're going to go back to the Burnin Sky album. Too Bad. I mean, that riff, that lick from Mick Ralphs is absolutely smoking. That album had, that album too, but that song has so much heft, all right? It's just so nasty. And Paul Rogers' vocals, man, the rhythm section just killing it. I absolutely love Too Bad. Love Too Bad, I always have. So, again, you know, a lot of kind of deep album cuts in my top 10 for Bad Company. And again, it's, you know, a band that had so many, like, radio staples, but had so many great deep album cuts. And I love the radio stuff. I do. But I like a lot of these deeper cuts better. So I know probably a lot of you are saying, oh my God, there's all those great radio hits and he didn't name hardly any of them. Well, that's the way I roll, folks. This is my list, not yours. If you, that the point of this is for, you know, me to talk about some of my favorite songs and for you guys to talk about some of your favorite songs and why. So let's go through some honorable mentions. I've tried to keep the honorable mentions a little bit shorter because I know we can't just name every damn song, right? From the first album, Can't Get Enough, obviously. Ready for Love, obviously. Moving On, obviously. And Seagull, obviously. Great songs, all right? From Straight Shooter, Feel Like Making Love, great song. Shooting Star, right? Love it. From Run With the Pack, Silver, Blue, and Gold, it was almost in my top 10. I really love that song a lot. Honey Child. From Desolation Angels, how about Evil Wind and Rock and Roll Fantasy? Rock and Roll Fantasy was actually in my early top 10 and got booted for something else. From Rough Diamonds, how about Electric Land? Love the kind of bluesy, jazzy vibe of that song. From Dangerous Age, all right? Got Brian Howland vocals. How about One Night? No Smoke Without Fire. Okay, and from Holy Water, how about the title track? Holy Water is actually a really good album. Walk Through Fire, Stranger, Stranger. If You Needed Somebody was actually a pretty big hit for the band. Fearless and With You in a Heartbeat. You know, my issue with some of the Brian Howe era and further on, it's like, Brian Howe, a really great singer. I think the band kind of became sort of very foreigner-ish, like arena rock, and kind of moved away from their traditional sound, but still really, really good. And just to let you guys know, I know a lot of people were asking after I did the free ranking the albums show. They wanted a Bad Company ranking the albums show. The reason I decided to do a top 10 song show and not a ranking the albums is because I don't own any of the post Rough Diamonds albums. I used to have Dangerous Age and Holy Water on cassette. I never replaced them on CD, and there's like a handful of other ones that they've released that I've never heard. So probably not good for me to do a ranking the albums when I only own about half of them, and I'm only familiar with maybe 75%. So, but I wanted to really touch on those classic songs, or my favorite songs from early in their career, as well as a couple notable ones from post Paul Rogers before he came back into the band. So let's recap my top 10. Coming in at number 1, Too Bad from Burnin Sky. Number 2, Deal with the Preacher from Straight Shooter. Number 3, Bad Company, self-titled, okay, album of the same name. From number 4, Good Lovin' Gone Bad from Straight Shooter. Number 5, Burnin Sky from the album of the same name. Number 6, Run With the Pack from Run With the Pack. Number 7, Painted Face from Rough Diamonds. Number 8, Live for the Music, Run With the Pack. Number 9, Rocksteady from Bad Company. And number 10, Wildfire Woman from Straight Shooter. God, I'm just going through this list, and all of a sudden now I got, Painted Face stuck in my brain here. What a great song that is. Anyway, guys, that is my top 10 songs from Bad Company. Curious to see what your favorite songs are from Paul Rogers and Company. List them in the comments below. Also, visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on the mighty YouTube all the damn time. So what do we got upcoming? So coming right at you next, momentarily, We've got ranking the studio albums from Uriah Heep. You don't want to miss that. Over the course of the next few days, other ranking the album shows you can expect: UFO, Death, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. The list goes on and on. I think I'm going to do Fate's Warning fairly soon, too. Dream Theater's coming soon. Symphony X is coming soon. Classic bands, newer bands, metal bands, prog bands, you name it, it's all coming. So just be patient, stay tuned, and we'll see you real soon. Take care, guys.